It's time to limbo. Limbo, limbo, limbo. Hey, how low can you go? I'm so glad that you're here with us. It is math time, and I'm excited because today we're talking about flexibility. As you can tell, we have a little limbo game for you. And now you can play along at home, and I hope you do. You can use whatever you have around. Maybe you have a broom that can be your limbo station, right? Or anything. But now when you're playing, don't want you to be a little timid. It's okay. Jump in there and go for it. And I'm excited that you are here with me today because we're talking about flexibility, but in math, we're talking about number flexibility. That's right. We can think flexibly with numbers by thinking about, how can we add two things to get us to the same answer? And maybe we can do it in different ways, right? Okay, let me show you what I'm talking about with a certain example. Let's say we're trying to make the number 9. So you may have, a little number sentence set up just like this, where you have two boxes and you're saying, okay, what number plus another number equals 9? That's just the one we've chosen for today. So can you think of two numbers we could plug in there and say, you know what, these two numbers add up to 9. Now I'm going to give you a little time to think, and as you're doing that, I have these number cubes to kind of help me out. All right, so I've got 5 on this side. You know how many I have over here? 4. 5 and 4 make 9. So I could write that in and say, you know what, 5 plus 4, it does equal 9, right? Now, did you come up with that same way, or did you come up with a different way? Now, can you think of another way? All right, so let's think through. 5 and 4, we know that makes 9, but is there another combination? And sure there is, all right? We've got several combinations we can use. All right, I could say, you know what, I have 6. I'm going to start off with 6. How many more would I have to add on to get to 9? Well, 6 plus 3 equals 9. So I could fill that in, and I've thought about another way. All right, that's number flexibility. We're thinking differently with our numbers. Now, you know what's really cool about addition and how we are adding numbers? The order that we put these in, we said 6 plus 3 equals 9. What if we switched those? What if we said, hey, we're going to start off with 3? Well, what number would I need to get to 9? The same number, right? 6. I'd say 3 plus 6 also equals 9. That's a really neat thing. The order of those numbers doesn't matter. It still gets us to the same solution. All right, so what does this have to do with our game today? Well, let me explain that. I want you to play Limbo. Grab a friend, a sibling, a family member you have, or somebody around, and you can play Limbo at home. Now, before you get to go through the Limbo station, you have to think flexibly with numbers. All right, so you're going to pick a number, any number that's going to be your total. And then you have to think of a combination that can add up to that certain total. Let's do one together. All right, let's say, hey, 14. 14's our answer. So can you think of two numbers that you could add together and get to 14? So I'm thinking through there. All right, 14's a little bit bigger than 9, but I can do this. All right, I know that 14 is made up of a 10 because it's greater than 10, right? So I could put 10 in my box to start off. Now think about how many do I have to add on to get to 14? Well, 10 and a 4, right? 10 plus 4 equals 14. All right, I've come up with a combination. You know what that means? It's time to limbo. So I get to go through. So now I'm going to go through because I've come up with my combination and I'm going under limbo, limbo, limbo. I made it. All right. So now it's your turn. You would come up with another combination that could work. Now we're still getting to the same number, right? We're trying to get to 14, but you have to come up with a different answer, a different combination that works. And you can't use the same one I did, all right? So no 10 and 4. Can you come up with a different one? I bet you can. What about the number 12? What if I started with 12? How many do I have to count on to get to 14, right? So, well, if I start at 12, count with me, 13, 14, I'm there. It only took 2. So 12 and 2 equals 14. So guess what time it is for you? You get to go limbo. That's right, and you can keep going, and every time you go through, you know what you could do to make it a little harder? You can move it down just a little bit, make it a little lower, and see how low can you go, all right? So that's how we're thinking flexibly with numbers today. And I want you to practice that out. Pick different numbers. You could start small. We started with 9. We went up to 14. You could do something in between or pick anything you want. But work on that number flexibility as you go. All right? So keep learning, keep problem solving, and I'll see you again real soon.